Hi, I'm Dr. Brad Zesh. I'm a chiropractor, and in 2019 I had a stroke. And I talk about that in the introductory video that you might want to watch. I want to do a series of videos to help you recover from stroke, and you can. I was totally paralyzed on my right side, and in 3 months I lifted a whole household of furniture. So anyway, today I want to talk about how to be motivated, and also what's the difference between full recovery and not recovery, or recovering the most that you can. Most people can recover fully. So what I like to see, what I came up with was MIE. You have to have motivation, you have to have information, and you have to have execution. So how I got motivated, I'll just be honest with you, I'm a believer in Jesus, and I was so depressed afterwards. But God came into my life, and after a day or so, and He took over, and I began studying intensely. I worked out 12-hour days, not total workout, but everything. I had 12 hours that I was just working on my stroke recovery. And the first 3 months are the most important because that's where you get the most neuroplasticity. And in the past video, I talked about John Hopkins that bared it out with mice research, and they find it in humans too. You gotta get going. And that's why sometimes being in the hospital, most all the time, get out of it as quick as you can, because they don't have enough time to spend with you. And also, you want to go to physical therapists, your neurologist, and all that, but they are not going to give you enough to fully recover. They don't have the time, and they don't all have the education. I just say it's my experience too. I went to a few physical therapists. The only one that I liked was an occupational therapist that really worked with the upper extremity, hand movements and whatnot. But so how do you get motivated? I like to read the Psalms when I was going through this, because David had many ailments and problems, and one thing he said in Psalm 34:19, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them from them all. Okay? So, and another thing I realized that, it's a partnership with God. If you're just going to lay in bed and think that He's going to heal you, I guess that can happen, but it's not very often. So you have to partner with Him, and you have to do the work. So it's motivation, information. You need a lot of information, and execution. You have to be willing to do the work, especially in the first 3 months. Get it? You can still recover after that, but it's much more difficult. So I had to take charge of my recovery. When I got home from Washington, my wife drove me in our motorhome all the way home to Colorado. I couldn't cut a pancake. I couldn't do anything. And I told her, you're not going to do anything for me. I'm going to do everything. So I used just my right side to do everything. And rehab, I look at it as like, I had ataxia, so I worked on organizing my pill closet with my right hand really intently. So all your daily living activities, think about recovery. Use all of it. Okay. Put away negative thoughts. They're called ants, automatic negative thoughts, and some psychologists say that. Put those away. Positive thoughts are like Teflon. The ants are like Velcro. It'll stick to you. Get a positive mindset. And you need to start rehab immediately. And, and even if you can't do the exercise, like flex your arm, think about it, because they have found that even just thinking about the movement, it can develop those new pathways in the brain. Your muscles are still as strong as they were, but it's your neurology you have to work on now. If you don't work on that, you're going to get atrophy in the muscles. And the amount of repetitions that have to be done. I want to read this real quick to you. And in a recent study published in the Journal of Rehabilitation Research and Development, researchers quantified the number of and types of activities performed by patients with traumatic brain injury and stroke in their therapy sessions. Not surprisingly, the number of repetitions observed for upper extremity work was between 40 and 60 repetitions per session, far below the hundreds required for neuroplasticity. This study shows that in rehabilitation of patients after TBI and stroke, considerably fewer total reps are performed in any category compared with the neuroplasticity research suggests. Okay, so how many repetitions? If I can't move my arm, I think about over and over and over about flexing my arm until I can start moving it. And then how many times do I do it? Well, they were saying hundreds of times. Now, I'll go through the reps with you though, as far as how many I did and how I got well with all the different movements. But I'm saying, you know, the research shows that it's a lot more repetitions than what you're being taught, you know, by a physical therapist or whoever. So the more you can do, the better. It's better to, when you're exercising, to fatigue out with a lot of reps than a lot of tension and fatiguing out at maybe 20. So you have less tension, more reps, and then you increase your tension after that. And we're going to go through, you know, you can do most all this at home, a lot of your upper body work and lower extremity with this TheraBand. And I'm going to go through, you know, where you can get it. You can get it on Amazon, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so higher reps, and start with your mind. You know, like a golf pro, you know, a pro gets out, and how many balls do they hit on the driving range to get their shot down right? It's over, it's repetitive, over and over and over. Think about that. Recovery is not by chance. It's not just, oh, I was lucky or whatever. Well, there is some luck involved, but probably, depending on where your lesion was in your brain. Mine was on my brainstem, which was pretty bad. So don't give in to weakness. Like whatever you're doing, if you're walking or whatever, keep good form, movements of your arm or hand. Do it how you want it to be, because that's what your brain is remembering. Chart everything, and I'm going to go through, you know, all these different rehab sheets here, like upper extremity, lower extremity, and you can draw lines down here, but chart the amount of reps you do, because a big part of stroke is people will get some improvement and then they do too much and they go down, and then they'll come back up and then it'll happen again. So you increase very slowly, and it's like how much you walk. Oh, I can walk, you know, half a block. Well, next time walk a little bit more. That's why like a Fitbit would be very helpful to you. But so you need to chart everything. That's what I did. I found that, because I was doing that before, I was getting in too much, you know, because I really wanted to recover quick, and it just set me back. So do it incrementally. And of course, sleep is vital. It's when your brain heals, and People with stroke, they have a lot of sleep issues, so you need to work on that and make sure you get good sleep. Try to, nutrition, we're going to talk about some nutrition that can help you sleep. So we're going to try to go through all these things. And, what's your goal? Do you want to be as healthy, back to normal as you can, doing the activities you were doing before? Maybe it was fishing on a boat. Maybe it was, playing baseball. Maybe it was, being able to go play pickleball. Think about what you want to do. So have a goal and visualize those things. Visualize playing pickleball. That's good for your mind. You have to rehabilitate every motion lost and do both sides. Okay, so if I can't move my right hand, my biceps up, my elbow, if I can't flex this side, I gotta work that side too. They've found on research that you gotta do both sides. Okay, let's see. And I pretty much covered everything for this video right now, and we're gonna have more. I hope you'll join us, and we pray that you get better. God bless.